Well guys, we're about an hour or so away I feel, but I have some bad news. So a couple of months ago I put out this video online about how to evaluate yourself as a trader and to know what to focus on to become better. The cool thing about this is that a lot of people took action and went through the analysis of their trading, and that's awesome. I always love when you guys take action, of course. Today what I want to do is I want to go through an example I got by email of someone who went through the different parts of successful trading and came up with something interesting. So I want to read through his email, and with his permission I was able to show you guys what he wrote. So the basic principle of this is that you want to rank yourself on different parts of your trading, and there are three main parts. So the mindset, the money management or risk management, and the strategy. We could call them differently, but those are the main names we can have for them. And if you rank yourself on those, soon enough you'll find one that's kind of lower, you have to work on more, and the other one that are like pretty good or that you don't have to work on too much. Some people in the very beginning might have to work on all of them. That's possible, but most of the time you have to work maybe on one, and that's gonna lead to the biggest result. So this trader seems to have a pretty good mindset. What he says is that he's able to execute. He has a checklist on his desk that he follows with the rules. That's perfect. Physiology, I guess that's psychology perhaps, but is where he wants it to be, perfect. And he doesn't really care about the win or lose. It just follows the process. Wonderful, I like this. Now he says the strategy he's using comes from Adam Koo, which I've heard about a little bit. I don't know the exact strategy for sure, but I heard the name and stuff, and it doesn't really matter, it's not the point. But money management, let's take a look at that. He says it's plans to trade $40,000 and generate about 5% per month, not too bad. He would need a 50% win rate to achieve his goal. He opened his first live account with $5,000 and testing his strategy after the manual back testing. He's trading with a 1 to 1.5 reward to risk. Okay, not bad. And he's gonna grab 12 to 15 pips on a winning trade and lose 8 to 10 pip on negative trade. That's alright. Yeah, those are only numbers. Perfect. So mindset, you see, mindset seems pretty good, and you cannot say for sure because we don't know necessarily the trader. He's part of the Disaster Academy, link below as well. I've never spoken with him, and I don't know exactly whether what he writes here really applies, but I'm pretty sure yes, it does. And if you rank yourself honestly, then you'll find the flaw and the thing to work on pretty fast. Guess that really makes sense for now. The mindset and the money management are really good. It has to do with the trading strategy apparently. So he's saying, after 50 live trade, the objective would be 200 for final assessment. The win ratio has nothing to do with my backtesting simulation. A 62% win rate in backtesting and 28% in live trading. That's interesting. Now here's the part that I want you guys to really understand clear. The simplicity of a strategy with 4 moving average and all that stuff to identify a trade is where I would like your opinion and feedback. He started to have some doubts and wondering if his strategy was good after he saw me like looking at the chart, analyzing, preparing for the week, and doing my weekly reviews, because he's not doing any of that. It's just trading with the strategy he has. Now this is very important. A very common pitfall in trading is to think that we have to make things complicated, and to think that if we don't do things and if we don't have this whole process in place, we're not good enough to trade. And that's a common flaw, because the more simple it is, the easier it is, and the better you will feel long term. Yes, of course you won't have like this ego boost because you know you do a lot of research and you have like this PhD and everything and all these research papers and stuff, but you don't need that. Like, this is for people working in bank. Perhaps the simpler you can trade, the better it is, and that's always going to be the same thing I'll say to everyone. And there might be only one thing that you have to be careful here. It's when you do something very simple and it has no real basis in the market. Like, let's say you buy after a bullish candlestick. You just buy there, you put a stop loss below, whatever. Not much is gonna say that the next candlestick is gonna be up necessarily. Okay, so you might see in the past that this has been a good result, it worked in the past, but it's not really logical, hence why it might not work in the future. So you need to have some sort of logical reason for why you trade something. If you don't have any logical reason to trade or to that the market's gonna do something you expect, then you might want to reevaluate a little bit more. See, I still think my strategy is really simple, but he says the strategy I use and simplicity is completely at the other end of the spectrum when compared to yours and other guests that you've also done your podcast, right? So again, this is a proof that people try to have something complicated because they feel better themselves. They feel like they have mastered something, they've accomplished something. You figure out the more simple it is, the better it gets, and the easier you can stick to it. And no matter if people think you're dumb and you do something that doesn't make sense, if you know the result, and if you know there's some sort of like logical aspect to your strategy, then fine, no problem, that's totally fine. And I can pretty much tell here that there might be some logical aspect to strategy because it's with moving average. I don't know exactly what it's about, but there should be some sort of trend aspect to it probably. Now, there is an aspect that we have to cover though, because even though that's fine, even though we know there's a strategy that probably works, we need to address the fact that he had a 28% win rate trading live and a 62% win rate in the backtesting. That's quite a very big difference. And I know it's only 50 trades, like might change, but I would really doubt that we are going to reach, just say, the 62% after the next 50 trade, because that would be very unlikely. Now, this can be caused by a few things. And the first one, I would say, what was the sample size for the backtest? Was it 20 trade, 100 trade, 200 trade? And don't forget that we always have this tendency when we backtest to take trades that are winning and skip trades that are not winning. It works better if we use software that hides the future data, but without hiding it, I always found myself to take trades I was not supposed to take or not take trades I was supposed to take. Because that's something you have to be very careful of. Because it could happen and it can completely change the result. Okay? So what you want to do is you want to get to the backtesting with this mindset of finding the losing trade. Finding those trades that are going to be losers. Finding the thing that's going to make the strategy crash. And if you try to find that, then you will probably find a little bit more losing trade, and ultimately the result will be different, because that's really, really important. And also, especially in the beginning like this, it's really important to go back on the chart and see if we didn't miss anything. Like if the strategy is new to implement, perhaps if you go back on the chart with like the quiet perspective, let's say on the weekend, and try to look week by week how many setup you missed, you're probably gonna find some setup you missed. Or the backtesting was done for a 24-hour period and the trading is done on a 8-hour period. Okay, if you backtest and you take all the trades, but then you only trade from, let's say, 8 AM to 5 PM or whatever time, then of course the result will be different. Because I would go back, I would look at exactly what time you traded at and what did you miss, what did you not take, what is not part of it, and are the stats closer to the optimal result if you were to take all the setup. Okay, that's kind of how I would go about it. I hope that makes sense, that helps. And I want to hear your thoughts. Like if you have any thought for this guy, Macram, who's in, I think, Montreal, comment below what you thought and we'll make sure to help him out. But this is what I think so far. Now, if you guys notice, we're kind of in a different place here. Yesterday I arrived in Romania, in Timisoara. Cool place, a really cool place so far, I kind of like it. It's a very different vibe than Budapest. But I want to bring you guys back to Budapest just before my train ride to come here. That was a whole mess. But anyway, let's get back in time a little bit. Train ride from Budapest to Timisoara yesterday evening, and that's gonna be the rest of the video. Everything is packed up and it's time for another day of travel. So my train is only at 3 PM this afternoon. In the meantime, I came to this coffee shop to do a little bit of work. I'm basically testing an idea for the Akinashi backtesting, which I talked about a few weeks ago. It's been a long time, but trying this idea looks really cool. I'm running an optimization from my computer at home with like TeamViewer and stuff, works really well. So I'll just have to wait. I think I'll go find some lunch because it's getting late. But yeah, so, and tomorrow I'll do a video live on that topic, like what is the progress, what I've been coming across and all these things. So I'll link it below because it's already going to be published, but it's just like the before. Looking forward to seeing the results for sure. So I made it to the train station, but now I'm trying to figure out how the panel there works. It looks a little bit complicated, so I'll try to figure it out. I'm starting to understand a little bit. My train is on track 1. We're at track 6 here. It's going to be a little bit of walk to get to track 1. So in the train, it's really hot in here, incredible. It says some places they have Wi-Fi, so I hope it's gonna work the whole time because it's still a close to like 5-hour ride to Timisoara in Romania. So hopefully it's gonna work and I'll be able to keep going on the back test. We are about an hour and a half into the ride. Let me give you a quick update or quick overview of the whole Wi-Fi situation. So we are sitting here, and here there's pretty much no Wi-Fi. I'm connected to it, but no, it doesn't work. If we get here, which is kind of the back of the train, we're starting to get better Wi-Fi. But to get good Wi-Fi, we have to go here, and now we get pretty much good Wi-Fi. Except that my email won't even load. Well guys, we're about an hour or so away, I feel, but I have some bad news. About an hour or so ago, I lost the Wi-Fi I had. Basically, the Wi-Fi is in that wagon, but in all the other ones, and so they detached the other wagon that had Wi-Fi. So I lost completely access to it. Anyway, but yeah, I'll be fine. Anyway, just I cannot reply to email. I've been able to catch up a little bit in the meantime, so that's good. But we'll wait till we get to Timisoara. And then we go help you guys like this. Again, that was a tough ride because I was hoping to get Wi-Fi the whole way, but I kind of lost the Wi-Fi at some point. Anyway, that's the kind of thing you have to expect. If you guys have any recommendation for Romania, comment below. I do want to know for sure, because I'm not sure exactly what to do here. It's a cool city, and I'll be heading to Bucharest in a few days. But feel free to let me know your thought on what we discuss first or the travel part. And I'll catch you guys tomorrow for the next video. Ciao.